how can you be having this much amount of felicity with the language and your thought process, and you say that you don't read? I find it very, very unusual.
Reading can be other things also apart from the books, right? You read people, you read life. Everything stays here. So I think it's an experience that gives you education, not the books.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of that?
I mean, everything cannot have an advantage and a disadvantage, for heaven's sake. Just see it. If there is an advantage, take it. If there's a disadvantage, face it.
You like sketching, you like cooking, and you like biking, and
I do carpentry work.
Carpentry work.
Yes, even when Salman sir had come and I had cooked a lot of food. I cooked for Sohail when he comes, he loves to eat what I cook, so I make every time. Hi, this is Kichcha Sudeepa here and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
All right, the interview that all of you guys have been waiting for. We have with us Kichcha Sudeepa, Vikrant Rona, a film that almost anyone and everyone has been waiting for, and very, very interesting promotion so far. Pleasure having you back with us on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you so much.
I find it so fascinating. I was watching one of your interviews. You've said that you don't read at all.
No.
But the way you talk, what you talk, it's so fascinating. And it seems that someone who must be like reading very, very profusely and voraciously would come up with that level of felicity with language and thought process. And you said in an interview that how do you get the fruits if you don't water the plants? Interesting. Those are interesting sort of analogies that you dole out like very regularly. So how can you be having this much amount of felicity with the language and your thought process, and you say that you don't read? I find it very, very unusual.
So what do you use? What do you use when you read?
Eyes.
Eyes.
Yeah.
So what else does the eye see?
The world.
So there's a knowledge of the book also has come from there only, right?
The world only.
Yeah. So I'm going to the point straight, then going through an interpretation.
But what about the vocabulary?
Vocabulary is you. I mean, I think even we understand pets at home as long as they try to emote something very nicely and correctly. Why do we need a language for that? See, as long as what I'm trying to say is like, I think I like to see people. I meet you, you give me something and you go, and by the time you go back. So I guess learning has come from there. Every person who's been writing also, learning has come from somewhere else, right? So I'm not trying to go go against the book reading, but then reading can be other things also apart from the books, right? You read people, you read life, you read something from what's happening within you, around you. Everything stays here. So I think it's an experience that gives you education, not the books.
And would you say that you are an inherent storyteller?
Maybe. Depends upon the listener. If you're a very disinterested person sitting, I can cut short the story to even zero and just walk away. It doesn't matter to me. I think we all like to, for example, just before this chat, when the timing was going on, I was just telling you, with Faridoon, it's like it's more of fun we have. So when I say that, I mean it, right? I mean that, I can chat with you for a long time because I see there's a listener in you, and also when you talk, I like to listen also. There's so much I take home every time I meet you. So yeah, there's a collection of caps I see, and every time I have a question for you too. So I guess it comes from there. And yeah, Farid, I don't filter my opinions.
You don't filter your opinions.
I don't sugarcoat my opinions, rather. Let me put it that way.
Right.
I tell you the way it is, and I think it comes out fair.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of that?
Who cares?
You don't.
I mean, everything cannot have an advantage and a disadvantage, for heaven's sake. Just see it. If there is an advantage, take it. If there's a disadvantage, face it. Why so much of thinking against something that you want to just voice out your opinion into? Speak something, speak your heart out. What is an alternative to say a no? What is an alternative to say a yes? How do you alternate your lines like I love you? How do you alternate your lines like okay, I need to go? Why do you need to have an alternative when there's a straight word, straight line,
Would you say that the fan following that you have, and it's a massive one, is based on people who are of similar thought process in terms of
I have no idea. I never sat to diagnose it or analyze it. I just know everything has happened to me because of my films. So my passion is only about storytelling and not to sit and diagnose and analyze and even account it as to what is the weightage of the fan following, what is the gravity of my stardom, or what is the revenue of my outcome of a big hit. I don't think I'll evaluate all that. I think it is coming as it is coming. Why do I need to sit and start looking for it? There is a film that's in hand. I think that is what I enjoy the most, and that's what gives me. And the cut to, once the film is done, I think I'll meet you again after 1.5 years, Farid, and we'll have a lot more to talk. And what do I do in this again? I would have been writing, making another film. I'll be cooking. I'll be playing a little bit of cricket. I'll go a little bit biking. I'll do sketching. I'll compose music. We'll do some carpentry work. All that stuff. I think you should start. Yeah.
Apparently, you like to cook every day. That's what.
I cook every day, and whether people are there or not to eat, I cook.
What do you like to cook? What do you like to cook?
Anything. There's another interesting thing is I don't go by the recipes. I sit with you for a while and I get to know whether you're veg or non-veg, and if you're a non-veg or veg, depending on that, and then what kind you like. I mean, I don't keep asking questions, I get to know. And then I'll just come out, I visualize this one dish in my head before I even start cooking, and I just go there. And I'll go there. It's all on own recipes. Most of it is my own recipes I come out with. And I like to do that little decorations and presentation and then just give it.
Right. Now, I'm sure you realize that apart, you said that it's because of your films that you have this following. But apart from the wonderful work that you've done in your films, I think you also have a certain persona. That is something that is followed by a lot of people. You know, a lot of the fans they find the way of their life through the way you conduct yourself in terms of what you say, maybe in say interviews, and even apart from that. So that is something which is also there, I'm sure, and that makes you unique in a way.
I don't know how they think. So it doesn't matter. I don't really look into how many are following and how many are following my interviews. I just know I gave an interview and I just went into my next door. I probably went home and I started writing something or playing cricket or playing something else. So I don't know. And when people come and repeat the lines and say, I like that line in the interview, I say, oh, did I? Okay. So I will again not think back and say, well, see, I made a very good line. And it's, I don't think so. I think every quote is remembered by other people, not the person who made it.
Interesting. Okay, so I was watching one of the videos where you interacted with RJs of various cities.
Yeah, very interesting.
Vikrant Rona. I thought it was a great idea.
Very good idea.
Very unique idea as well.
Yes. They all came up together and I was like, what's happening? And so many languages under one thing, and this is nice. It was very good. And each one showering so much of poems and something and lines in their lines. And so I think these are all once in a way. It's very nice to happen so that you just get to know your familiarity with people and how much they like you and love you and support you. I think it's a must once in a way. You know, it's just awakening.
Right.
It's just an awakening. Actually.
There was RJ from Haryana, and she recited a poem for you.
Yeah, seriously, it was such a wonderful, touching thing. I said you should have just written it in a paper. I should have framed it. I said somebody is telling me a poem like this on me in Hindi, especially the first time. I said, you should have just written it down or framed it. It was so wonderful a gesture.
Right.
Seriously.
What does love mean to you?
I mean, it is everything. I think
that's what you told her.
It's a beautiful, most beautiful connect what one can have with anything. It need not be with the human itself. It can be with your own life. You know, that is what it is. First, I think the first love has to be about your own life. If you love about you love your life, I think you will start loving everything about your life, because right now for me, you come into that part. If I love my life, you're coming into that. I can't say I don't love my life, but Farid, I love the way you are. No, how can that's actually, it doesn't make sense to me. If you can't love yourself, how will others love you? If Absolutely. You can't love your own life, then you don't love anything else, my friend. It doesn't work
Absolutely.
that way.
It's very, very interesting that you said that you like sketching, you like cooking, and you like biking, and
I do carpentry work.
Carpentry work.
Yes.
And various things. So do you feel that the hobbies that you have, and in a way things which are digression from your work as an actor, it also contributes positively to your creative work as an actor?
I don't think I will consider those as hobbies, as this is my profession. This also can be my hobby, no?
Right. That's what Salman sir says.
So I don't think I will consider this as one major thing and everything else is a hobby. I think I love everything what I'm doing. It's just that it's not done professionally. I do chairs, and if I do some carpentry work, it's for my own house. So I do stuff, and cooking, I have not taken it as a profession. But then I cook for everybody who comes and eats there. Even when Salman sir had come and I had cooked a lot of food, I cooked for Sohail when he comes. He loves to eat what I cook, so I make every time. And sketching, of course, I don't get paid for it, but apart from that, I see somebody for an interesting face, I start sketching and I do something, I do a portrait and send them. So it's not, I'm not only here, I get paid professionally. So that just because I'm getting paid and I spend more time here in the shooting time, that doesn't mean that this is my profession and rest of my hobbies. I play cricket once in a way, but I play it with equal passion. I cut off all my discussions and my script reading and anything in wait.
So everything contributes in a way.
Everything. I think
else.
you should be in the present. That's one thing I believe. If it's you, it's you. Cut off the world. Cut off everybody. You're sitting at home with a friend for a drink and another big name calls. I think just put it on mute.
Right.
The person you have given time to should be the most important person in the world at that moment. Is what I truly believe.
Absolutely. Okay. And you like to talk to people on video call?
Yeah.
You like to see them?
I like to make video calls because I know somehow that voice thing is almost like a WhatsApp voice note. Na? Hey, hi, Farid, what's up? Yeah, I think I just got for, what do you say? Cut. Okay, till you respond, I'll attend to something. Oh, yeah, okay. Instead of that, we are just having a longer conversation without breaks. It's a voice call for me. Video call is like looking into your person's eyes and like, hey, what's up? What you doing? So I think even video calls are for me for very few people I make, but I like to see their faces and talk. So that's what I normally do. So you won't believe, like, Shahryar has got used to that because of me now. He never used to be so embarrassed to come on a video call. Say, hey, man, acha nahi dikhta yaar, koi nahi yaar. I used to catch him in a gymming time or he's in his towel and Kichcha, kya yaar, aapko time hi nahi, kabhi bhi phone karte. So I think I am like that with all my friends, and all my friends know that I normally make video calls. I don't normally make regular calls.
Now, you've also said in an interview that direction is your passion. You in a way accidentally happened to become an actor, but direction is something that fascinates you a lot, which is very interesting. And in terms of, like, say, this world of Vikrant Rona, what is your contribution like? Do you also contribute in terms of, like, say, creativity?
Of course, yes. When Anup told me to recite this script, he had some 90s in mind. He wanted to say the stories in the 90s. I was very adamant about the 60s. Why? Because number one, I think the aesthetics of those years were beautiful. Less communication, less commuting, less electricity. Right. Very well balanced to tell a story like this. You know, like, see, if you want to tell a movies, like, even if you take as a Indiana Jones or a Raiders of the Lost Ark, you want to take about Jumanji, you want to talk about a Pirates of the Caribbean. You can't say 2022 Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, it doesn't go at all. I mean, it has to be today's movie then. Today's technicalities, today's equipments, today's technology, today's vehicles, people, the way of dressing. See, when you see Raiders of the Lost Ark, we love it because of that era. They have gone even beyond. Even when they released, they've gone beyond. Correct? They've gone much earlier and they've narrated a script in that thick jungle where there's this, that, blah, blah. Today there's no jungles, my friend. There's nothing here. Everything has come to the floor level. Very few bleak jungles in the world. And in India, though, very few. Very one minute, markable space, I think, noticeable space. You can run through the jungle, I guess, if you leave. So I think today I needed that. So that discussions we do sit. I was very adamant about it. Then he finally agreed. Because he had certain other reservations, but we came and then visually, how do we go about it? What do we do? I think we do contribute, and from there, I think because Anup himself is a fantastic student and he's a great director. He has got a great vision of his own. So he immediately caught what I had in mind. So I think once my film was in, once I know the film is in the good hands, I don't think I'll bother about the rest. I'll enjoy my work. Because Anup is fantastic. I mean, he handles things very well. I don't need to be breaking my head at all. Our discussions were even before the shooting went to the floor. Right. Once it went to the floor, I think I was a child. I was playing a cricket. I was doing a firing. I least bothered about anything apart. Because I think we were all on the same page. We knew what's happening. Each one knew what we are doing. There was no unnecessary questions at all unless a newer thing had happened. Right. We all had our answers.
Great.
Hi, this is Kichcha Sudeepa here and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.